Alright, today we will be going over placements. Placements in Meerkat allow us to override the default coordinate system of Meerkat, which is absolute positioning. In absolute positioning, what you see is what you get. This appears to be our laser bed, and when you simulate, this is what you get. If you move the object, then you simulate, this is where it ends up in the laser bed. So this is absolute positioning because there is a one-to-one relationship between the position of the object in the bed and in the simulated result and what will be sent to the laser. This is not, however, true if we add in various placements or origin points. For example, we add in a placement, rather than being located here in absolute positioning, it will be located where we placed it. This is true regardless of this place. If we place it down here and we simulate, it will still be located here. Even if it is not within the scene position, it will still locate where we have placed it in the set origin placement. If we add another placement, giving us two different placements, now when we simulate, it will place it in both places. The same is true if we add a third placement, say located here. Then when we run our simulation, the third placement is located here. Now, we may also modify this placement to have a number of loops. For example, if we add 3 loops here, you'll see that this placement now is marked with 3x, and when we simulate, the bottommost placement is significantly darker because our simulation goes over it 3 different times. Finally, if we add a placement to the scene, we can rotate this placement. Note the rotating placement when we rotate it by 90 degrees. Then we simulate. This last placement is rotated by 90 degrees. These placements are equivalent to new origin points. However, there is another type of placement which currently can only be accessible through console as a current position placement. With this type of placement, note that our object is still located off the screen. When we simulate, it is located here, but not because it goes to the upper left-hand corner, but because that is where our laser head is located. If we relocate our laser, say by using the set location tool, then when we recalculate the placement, it is located here. If we jog the laser over, then check the simulation, it has changed position. If we proceed to jog again, then we recalculate, you see that the placement changes in position with respect to the laser head. This allows us to do current position coordinate system. Let's quickly go over a couple use cases for this. For example, if we wanted to locate something relatively close to the center, where we know its location, then we can change the placement to set the orientation of the corner of the project to the center. Now, regardless where this object is located, when we run our simulation, it is roughly centered. This holds true if we add additional objects. For example, if we add a circle here, we simulate, the entire thing is still located central to our placement. If we put this up here, simulate, Now it is still located central to our project, so we can center things within our material. Now as another quick example, if I create a placement here, and then I wish to create a grid, I right click here, under layout, I create placements horizontally. We're going to make them 0 and 20 millimeters apart. It will create a series of horizontal placements. I then select everything. I right click, I go to layout, I place them vertically. Let's go ahead and create as many as I can. And let's go ahead and do them 21 millimeters apart. This has created a grid of different layouts. Now, if I go in here and I create anything, let's create a small rectangle. Let me go ahead and modify this rectangle slightly. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and simulate, and then we see that it has created one of these small rectangles in each of the boxes of the grid. The utility of this is not simply as a one-off to create the objects. So for example, if I create a small circle now with all of the same placements, when I simulate, it will simulate the circle in all of these same grid locations, so that you can set up a sheet with proper jigged locations, and so your sheet with the jigging will be reusable. And that covers placements. Alright, thanks for watching, and as always, don't burn down your house.